So, if you're not familiar with the name Akira Toriyama, essentially the man is responsible for Dragon Ball Z. He's responsible for Dragon Quest. For me, he's responsible for one of my favorite RPGs of all time, which was Blue Dragon.
Are they looking at us?
How's it going?
It was such a underrated, underappreciated RPG that came out very early on in the Xbox 360's life cycle, and I just remember it just being, and still to this day, one of the most memorable RPG experiences I've ever had. And as somebody who didn't grow up with like Dragon Ball, I was more Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's, to me, I love the characters. I loved Akira Toriyama's like art style and his vision, and on top of that, Dragon Quest VIII, when it came out on the PlayStation 2, was another RPG that just kind of changed everything that I knew about RPGs.
You worthless fools! Prepare to be crushed! You will never pester me again!
And this man has just done it time and time again in creating some of my favorite video games of all time. And I'm sure for many people, it's a pretty sad day to know that Akira Toriyama is gone, and that he's not going to be able to see the official release date of the last game that essentially that he was working on, which was Sandland.
I seriously don't understand human.
And this is a game that I've already had hyped. I've been waiting for April 28th, I think it is. I know it comes out in April. I've been waiting for Sandland to come out, and I've been avoiding a lot of different spoilers. But initially when I saw it, I didn't know it was based on, like, I think it's a manga as well as an anime. Initially when I saw it, I was immediately reminded of Dragon Quest VIII, as well as Blue Dragon. And it's not surprising. I mean, Akira Toriyama has a very specific art style, and it's always looked incredible, and sure enough, he was working on this one as well. It sucks anytime that you have somebody who was extremely influential not be able to see their final project be released. It's sad, and it definitely sucks, but the best thing we can do, I think, in my opinion, with Akira Toriyama, is just remember the great things that he did give us, the great video games that he provided us, the great animes that he's provided us, just childhood memories that childhood memories that absolutely just provided us a lot of comfort. If you were a kid that grew up with Dragon Ball Z and watched the anime every day before school or after school or whatever it might have been, those are going to be memories that I'm sure for you are going to live until the day that you pass. And it's to have that man provide so many kids childhood memories. And basically, for me, Blue Dragon was like my escape. That game, I probably invested like 80 some hours into Blue Dragon or something. I mean, I remember I wanted playing it twice. I wanted playing through it and beating the whole thing twice. And it's still to this day one of those games I wish they remade or remastered or did something or relaunched it. Because I wish a lot of people got to experience Blue Dragon. It is an absolutely incredible experience. And Sandland, I know it's going to be an incredible experience. And honestly, this video was tough to make. It really was, because anytime that... I mean, we lost Kevin Conroy, and it was sad that Suicide Squad killed the Justice League is the very last thing that he did. However, I will not acknowledge that. I will pretend that that was not the last video game that he did. And I'll say Arkham Knight was the last Batman thing he ever did because I refuse to acknowledge that as his final thing. James McCaffrey, basically the voice of Max Payne. We lost him as well. And there's just a lot of basically voice actors and artists that I grew up with as a kid, and I'm sure many people did as well. And just you see those people pass, it feels like a piece of you is essentially passing, and it does suck. It absolutely sucks. ...2024 sucked. This year has sucked. This has been one of the worst fucking years that I could potentially fucking remember. If it wasn't just my dad passing February, you just gotta keep going forward. I think the best way to say it is thank you so much, AKIRA Toriyama, for providing such great memories and some of the best video games ever played in my life. And I'm sure Stan Land will be right on that list as well. You will be missed. You will be missed.
2,000 years later.
What I want to do is I want to kind of provide, because it seems like a lot of people don't know AKIRA Toriyama had just made a bunch of video games, so which is fine. So we're gonna actually head to a list, courtesy of ScreenRant.com, that kind of just goes over the many video games that AKIRA Toriyama had his hands in, and again, some of them are my favorite games of all time. So let's just dive into that list right now. Alright, so here it is. So this is back in 2022, so Sandland's not going to be on this list. However, it comes out, and let me just, you know what, let me make sure here for you. Sandland video game. April 25th. So Sandland will be available on April 25th of this year. So mark that on your calendars, because it's going to be, if you really like AKIRA Toriyama and you like his art style, if you like the Dragon Quest, Blue Dragon, any of those games, Sandland is going to definitely be one of those games you're going to want to, you owe it to yourself and to play it, in my opinion, or just buy it in general. So here we are. Every video game project from Dragon Ball creator AKIRA Toriyama ranked. Alright, I guess we'll rank them. Dragon Ball Superhero rocked cinemas this past summer. Okay, so this is kind of go. But here's some of the games that we got. So some of these I don't know all of them. Gyro's Eater and Fantasian 2012 and 2021. In terms of contributed games, Toriyama is mostly a character designer. This role can be major, but he's also guest designed on a few projects. His role in the game Fantasian and Gyro's Eater are both minor, but he designed a diorama for a contest for the JRPG Fantasian, which became the subject of one of the game's level packs. That's pretty dope. It's impressive that he won a contest, but he ultimately had a minor role in development. His role in the card collecting game was similarly minor, but he got to utilize his strengths. He designed the fighting robot B-Man 500 SS, based on his work designing vehicles in his manga, Dr. Slump. Let's see, Tobal number 1 and number 2. So the great fighting games released in the 90s, 1996's Tobal number 1 did best to stand out with character designs by AKIRA Toriyama. While Dragon Ball was finally taking off in the West, I think the series boost developers were hoping for. The sequel Tobal 2 was only released in Japan before the series faded into obscurity. So I wonder, I don't know if, I imagine it would look like a Dragon Ball Xenoverse type game, Tobal. Have to, let's see, Tobal. So it came out on the PlayStation. Yeah, okay. This is kind of what it looks like. Okay. Like a Virtua Fighter type of style looking game, I guess. That's cool. see. Jump series 1991 to 2019. Shonen Jump is the biggest manga magazine in the world, and Toriyama's work is part of that. So when Jump celebrates his franchise in video games, he's often asked to headline. Characters from all of his manga, of course, make appearances, but he's also done character designs for exclusive characters. Let's see, Blue Dragon. So this is one of them that I talked about, being one of my favorite games of all time, favorite RPGs anyway. Blue Dragon was a game that marketed itself heavily on having the art style of AKIRA Toriyama. Despite this, it actually was created by the creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, with Toriyama assisting. Okay. I remember hearing his name associated with Blue Dragon. I just probably Toriyama's name is so big, I guess. It's just it kind of overshadowed. But it was a way, obviously, to market the game and to get people like me to actually want to buy it. And I loved it, so hey. Kudos to the marketing team on that one. Dragon Ball Expanded Universe games, 86 to 2020. So you had the Dragon Ball game and Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Those are some of them. Chrono Trigger. Now this is a big one for any JRPG fans like myself. Chrono Trigger is one of the greatest RPGs of all time. If you look at any top 10 list of RPGs to ever be released, typically we'll see Chrono Trigger on that list. It is one of the best games that you will ever play if you are an RPG fan, especially. And the story's absolutely incredible. Let's see, Dragon Quest 1986 to current. So he's just been ongoing on this. Dragon Quest 8, PlayStation 2, remember coming out, had like a bigger box. I think it came out the year that Guitar Hero came out. But I just remember playing Dragon Quest 8 and just falling in love with it and thinking it's one of the coolest things ever. They really expanded the RPG. It's like, yeah, I mean, it just took it to another design level, and the design and the characters all look absolutely. Maybe he's maybe not just responsible for, just had his hands in. But Akira Toriyama, as I've stated, he's one of the. Akira Toriyama is one of the greatest minds to ever walk the planet. He was brilliant, and he provided us a lot of great memories, a lot of great moments, and a lot of media spawned off of Akira Toriyama's designs and his stories, and it's going to probably last until the end of time, I would imagine. But the man is, he deserves his respect, and it's sad that he did pass, but at least we got his art, his games, his anime, like whatever it might be. We have Akira Toriyama still with us, because as long as you're playing his games, as long as watching Dragon Ball, he never can really pass. So thank you so much to him, and condolences to his family, his friends. It's shocking because he wasn't that old. So definitely a sad day in the entertainment industry, and definitely want to hear from you. What's maybe one of your favorite Akira Toriyama like games, or maybe you have a favorite Dragon Ball Z episode that you want to kind of let us know about in the comments down below. Definitely love to hear it. Let's show some love to Akira Toriyama in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, and thank you so much for chilling with me, and I'll see you all in the next gaming sessions.
Abducted by my brain and it drains all the dopamine. Pain leaving nothing but the dreams that have been holding me. Reality